everyone, it's Jen again. So I decided to start doing some more Let's Plays, first impressions of different Renpy games. So today I'm going to be playing a game that was submitted for Otome Jam. And I haven't opened it yet because there was a content warning that appears when you first opened it, and I didn't want to skip that part. And I'll be having a link to the game page in the description below. Content warning, disturbing imagery, sounds of bones crackling, things crawling, and cursing. Between Two Suns. First of all, I really like the style of the coloring, kind of this painterly look with this very textured. Almost reminds me of patting it down with a a vinyl-y type material or something. These are nice too. Very soft little hover noise. And usually I go the opposite way, where when I hover over something I make it lighter. So kind of making it darker when you hover it over it kind of gives this impression to me of actually smooshing down on it, like this a shadow. Of making the impression of pushing down on it. So that's a very interesting choice too. We'll check our options. I usually like to have my music volume somewhere more in the mid-range. And usually like to have my voice and my sound a little bit on the higher side, so we're going to go ahead and change that. Font is very clean and legible. I think it's interesting how everything is uppercase, but the I is a lowercase. It gives it a little bit more of a whimsical feel. It wasn't a perfect day. And I like the sketchy lines of the artwork. It reminds me of animation. That's one of the things that kind of drew me to this trying this game, was the art aesthetic. I kind of like how organic this is, how the lines on the road are straight but not perfectly straight, and you can see how the dash marks on the lane separations there is also not perfectly in perspective. But I kind of like these you can tell that there were some reference lines that were made to reference to the horizon for technical perspective, but then other things were left to be just kind of very organic. It wasn't a perfect day. It wasn't good or even decent. Not the worst though. It started with some random guy spilling his coffee on you and then having the audacity to get mad. A pop quiz on the first lecture. Accidentally pushing a potted plant off the windowsill. Almost falling down the stairs, but thankfully your cat-like reflexes were able to act in time and only get you to fall on your ass. Yeah, that's not too bad if I didn't scrape anything. It still hurts. But finally, you can go back to your small, empty, and gray flat. What a lovely life. Despite how much happened, you don't feel very tired. And a thought goes through your head. Maybe I should take a walk? It's always a good thing to do when you're not having a great day, actually. So, we have this kind of highlighted outline to show that we can hover. I think it's interesting that it's green outline, so it kind of lets you know that you should be hovering over it. And again, it goes darker once you hover over it. That is very opposite of what my normal brain wants to do with hovering. It's interesting. Go to the forest. Go home. What happens if I just go home? No, I'm too tired. You climb the stairs to the last bits of your energy left in your body. You do your evening routine and then go to bed. The next day you wake up, get ready, attend the lectures, and go home. And so on and so forth. I have a piece. That's so perfectly me. Let's see what happens if I decide to not have a peaceful life. That's very much like what I would normally do, though. Is take the path of least resistance and have a peaceful life. Sounds like a good story. As you go deeper, your mood starts to change. With each step, the cars are getting quieter, soft wind and birds taking their place. Take a seat at your favorite spot, a log by the stream. I like how the music kind of went out and is just replaced by ambient noise. You take a seat at your favorite spot, a log by the stream. You touch the moss at your side, observing the shapes of its leaves and enjoy how soft and fluffy it is. You feel safe, as if the forest is looking out for you, so you can take a small break. You smile at the serenity. You realize how quiet it is, a little bit too quiet for your liking. Looking around, you don't see anything suspicious, but it's a forest and you're alone. There's plenty of danger that's way too good at hiding. You hear a frustrated shouting nearby. Why did you go into that thing? Ugh, don't scream, my head hurts. This is the kind of style of emojis that I do. I didn't know if people were still doing those. Okay, but why would you trust a random guy saying, yeah, go into that train cart. That way you'll live tee-hee-oo. Don't you find it at least a bit suspicious? It was either this or annihilation. For me, the choice was quite simple. Besides, you didn't have to go after me. Well, maybe I didn't want to be left alone in the middle of the apocalypse. Annihilation? Apocalypse? What are they talking about? You should probably go home just in case. Yes, if you hear people yelling in the woods about annihilation, apocalypse, you probably should just go home. I'm gonna be like ruining the point of the story, but like if it gives me the option of going home, I'm gonna go home, take a shower, a bath, go to my lectures, and so on and so forth. I'd like not to die, thank you very much. Yes, that's me. I guess we can skip. I can't quite see. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I can skip. But I want to see who's arguing. Silly choice, but alright. I know. I wouldn't normally bother with this option in real life. Trying your best to stay hidden between some bushes, you go towards the voices. You have a weird feeling like they're talking in a language that you don't know, and yet you understand everything perfectly. I like the framing of the CG. I like how everything is kind of like in this little window of you peeking through the bushes, and then just like this kind of almost like a close-up lens effect where the background here is like very blurry. Yeah, this line quality, I'm a huge fan of line art, and it's very it has kind of like a soft, sketchy feel, but also very like confident. Very much like these lines. And everything about the color palette is very cohesive along to these like detailings in the GUI box, with having that kind of accent with the characters' clothing. It does a very nice job feeling balanced, as well as like drawing your eyes to the most important parts. Peculiar. You catch a glimpse of someone, so you quickly crouch, trying not to draw attention to yourself. If you're going to stress this much about it, then you should have stayed in. You know very well that I couldn't. Looks like comic paneling is nice. Sorry. Almost like an animatic. But shouldn't that make it easier? No. Besides, stop acting dumb when you know exactly what I mean. With that silly personality of yours, I can never understand what your deal is. Worried about another squirrel, perhaps? Was one time. Why would you trust that guy? Oh, actually, pretty simple, you see. I accidentally brush against the leaves. Yeah, should have gone home. Really not my business. Cute though, the way the wings like kind of fold over the face. For a moment, you feel extreme tension. Your brain goes into flight or fight mode. You probably can't fight both of them at the same time. I can fight neither of them. I am not a fighter. Muscles in your legs are ready to dart to run for your life. The man with the golden wings speaks. I apologize. Did we scare you? Well, I'm not a very fast runner, so I think I'll just get up and hope that that they're not gonna hurt me. You feel your legs wobble a little. You stand firm, phone secured in your hand. Hopefully, if they try anything, you'll be able to call for help quick enough. The gun behind your belt might also be used. I have a gun? Are you okay? Should stay silent. Well, I don't like to ignore people. Thanks for asking. But of course, for a moment, no one says anything and it's getting a bit awkward. I don't want to start the conversation. So would you mind leaving? Yeah, right? What a day it was, huh? You do your nightly routine, go to bed, overthinking what happened in the forest. At least you'll have something interesting to talk about. Oh, I got the same ending as if I had just gone home. Fair enough. I'm definitely like the type of person who will like take every option to just like go home and like not be in anybody else's business. So I don't know if the game is like calling me out on that, forcing me to gradually like assert myself more and more. It's interesting that it kind of like it actually gives you those options, though, even though those options like lead to a very repetitive dead end. Really love the art style. Gonna play through it some more, explore the other endings, but at least for those of you who are watching who want to go explore these characters and story more, you can not be like me and not keep going home and probably get to the heart of this story much faster. Really love the colors again and the aesthetic and the choice of just kind of making everything reference this sherbety colored sunset. Very cohesive theme. Alright. Thanks for watching me play just the beginning of this game. Hope you give it a chance for yourself and take care. As always, don't forget to enjoy the process. Bye now.